This is problem number 4 from section 6.4. This is a really good problem, and the key to the problem is making sure you identify what's happening with sine and cosine. So it says determine the values of the trigonometric functions of theta, where sine of theta is 9 over 41 and cosine of theta is greater than 0. We've got to look at this right away, and we got to use these two things to determine what quadrant we're in. Well, if sine is positive, that means we're in either quadrant 1 or 2, because sine's positive, meaning we're up in these two. Sine would be negative down here. So we're in either one of these two quadrants. If cosine is positive, we're in either one of these two quadrants. Well, which quadrant do they share? Well, they share this quadrant right here. Obviously, if sine is positive and cosine is positive, we are in quadrant 1, which is really important to know. So we can go ahead and start to draw this. So sine we know is, let's go ahead and draw a triangle here. Sine we know is opposite over adjacent, or not opposite over adjacent, opposite over hypotenuse. So we can say that this is 9 and this is 41, because this would be the opposite side, this would be the hypotenuse, and this is theta. And we're getting that from our ratio 9 over 41, opposite over hypotenuse. So if this is 9, this is 41, how do I find this side? Well, I can use the Pythagorean Theorem to do that. So I can say 41 squared equals this adjacent side squared plus 9 squared. So then I can end up getting 41 squared minus 9 squared equals the adjacent squared. I do the square root there and I end up with 41 squared minus 9 squared, and I do the square root, and that's the adjacent side. So the adjacent side equals, let's put that in the calculator, 41 squared minus 9 squared. Do the square root of that number, 40. So we know the adjacent side is 40. Once we've identified the quadrant, drawn the triangle, found all three sides, the rest of the problem is very simple. That's the most important part. Identify the quadrant using your knowledge of sine and cosine being positive and negative, and then draw the triangle and find the other side. After that, we can use some reciprocal identities along with our triangle here to figure this stuff out. So cosine, we know, is the adjacent over the hypotenuse. So that's going to be 40 over 41. So adjacent over hypotenuse. Tangent, we know, is the opposite over the adjacent, which is 9 over 40. We know cosecant is the reciprocal of sine. So cosecant is the reciprocal of sine. Well, sine is 9 over 41. Reciprocal of that is 41 over 9. We know secant is the reciprocal of cosine. Well, cosine is 40 over 41. The reciprocal of that's 41 over 40. And we know cotangent is the reciprocal of tangent. Cotangent, reciprocal of tangent, which is right here. This is 40 over 9. Right? Reciprocal of 9 over 40, 40 over 9. And that's it. Most important part, figure out the quadrant, draw the triangle, find the opposite side, or find the side.